What's happening? It's another off-season vlog number 3. Quite proud of myself that I've been able to do this consistently week to week. I know to some people this comes quite easily to them, but as I've mentioned in previous vlogs, is that social media is not really my thing, but I'm getting better at it. I'm trying to post a lot more often and whatnot. So this is Thursday the 21st, so we are 19 days post show. So put in perspective, so what we've been up to. So the past weekend was the PCA British. I had 5 clients competing there. Some good placings there, some good outings, some good looks. Very happy with how my clients came in, all of them, regardless of their placing. We all know what we need to do to improve, what needs to be done to bring better looks next year, what needs to be done in this up and coming off seasons for them to just bring up their physiques a little bit more. I've got guys and girls who are looking maybe to compete next year, ones who are going to take the entire 2022 off and come back bigger and better. So yeah, it was an incredible weekend. Got to, as you saw from Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, got to go for a team brunch on the Sunday morning, which was amazing, at Medicine in Birmingham. Highly recommended, by the way. Just unreal fucking brunch, breakfast food. I don't even know what brunch is, to be honest. You know, I thought I wouldn't know until I was about in my 60s, but brunch is a popular thing now. So yeah, phenomenal weekend. Had such a great time. The travel either side of that weekend was a fucking shit show. And Reagan and I have decided never to fly within the UK ever again. Absolute fucking shambles. But the success of the weekend, the enjoyment of the weekend made up for that. So some of you may be wondering what I did this time around for my own nutrition over the weekend. Basically, well, number one, we went to Ultimate Fitness in Birmingham and we picked up some prep meals for the show, and they were terrible. Absolutely terrible. There was no flavour, nothing. It was just microwave rice, cheap shite dry chicken, and that plan went to shit. My client James walked away with our meals anyway in his prep bag, so that was actually a saving grace. Just told him to bin them. Hotel breakfast is what we done both both Saturday and Sunday. We were at a Holiday Inn. We decided not to do Airbnb again, something we'll never do again, because we want to prep our meals and whatnot and keep it to our plan. So every time we go to shows from now on, regardless if we're competing or not, are going to be Airbnbs. But saying that though, the Holiday Inn wasn't that bad. We just also played it sensible, and that's what you should do. You know, a buffet breakfast isn't your excuse to fucking go ape shit, and that's not me judging anyone. I've done it myself. I've seen the buffet breakfast at Holiday Inns and all these kind of hotels as my opportunity to eat as much fucking shite as possible, and then usually once I'm done, I want to go back to bed. So kept it to, obviously, they're no serving high quality chicken, high quality salmon or anything like that, are they? They're serving cheap shit, sausages, bacon, beans, but it's a protein source at the end of the day. So just a wee bit of that, a wee bit of cereal, some wholemeal toast, banana. Nutella is just nut butter, kind of. It's not really, but you know. So we made do and just made smart choices. And I think a lot of people, and I've had a lot of clients who I feel panic when they go away. This is not what like, we're talking about events that aren't, when you're not competing, basically. Fucking hell, it took ages to get out. When you're not competing, just make smart choices. If you don't want to make smart choices, then fuck it, fair enough. I don't give a fuck, I don't care. If you want to go and treat the buffet breakfast like I did, like a field day, then fair enough, it doesn't bother me. But if you're looking to make smart choices, it's very easy to do so. You know, there's absolutely zero excuse if you want to remain nice and clean. If you want to eat shite, fair enough. Like I said, I'm not a hypocrite, because I've been there, I've done the whole any weekend away is an excuse to kind of eat what I want and do what I want and be off plan. So I know what goes through people's heads, because I've been there. But yeah, on the day of the show, obviously without the prep meals now, when James stole them, I just had some fruit, some nuts, what else? A wee pasta dish that had some chicken through it, just nice and simple, nice and clean. And on a Sunday after brunch we had like cookies and whatnot, so it was a semi-decent weekend. You know, don't regret it at all, enjoyed myself. It was, like I said, a phenomenal weekend. And so that kind of leads me on a kind of wee topic. I don't plan these vlogs, what I'm going to say, I just kind of splurt out when it kind of shakes in my head. But one of the things I noticed in this past season with a few clients is traveling to shows. Now, I've used Airbnbs and apartments since I was a junior because they allow me to stay in my routine, they allow me to cook, they allow me to get up when I want. I'm not dictated to as to when I can eat, because some, like for instance, the hotel that we were in said you had to be in a certain time to eat because of COVID and all that crap. It's more private and whatnot, and usually Airbnbs are a lot nicer, they feel more homely, you feel more relaxed. The amenities, I can't say that word, are usually a lot better than a hotel. So if you're going to compete and you're going to travel a long distance, get an Airbnb. Now I know everyone doesn't earn the kind of same kind of money, and if a Holiday Inn is advertising 2 nights for 30 quid, then obviously if that's the more financially viable option for you, then fair enough, you can absolutely do it, it's no problem at all. But don't expect to be able to cook on the same level as you would in an Airbnb with a fully equipped kitchen. My client James is a perfect example of this. He went to a hotel at the Arnold and brought pretty much every cooking device you can possibly think of from John Lewis. If you want to do that as well, that's fine, but for me, I always highly recommend that you Airbnb everything in terms of accommodation. That for me is just way easier than using hotels. Again, I come back to the fact that it's cost, benefit, whatever. If you feel that it's more financially viable, yeah, for you to use hotels, then fair enough. But if you want to relax, chill, always go Airbnb. The travel thing, accommodation, traveling. Well, my own, I said at the start of the video, I will never be flying within the UK again. If you drive, we all know when we come to that later stages in prep that you're pissing all the time because obviously you're so lean. Now, being on an airplane, that's a bit of a pain in the arse, but then on an airplane, it is less time on the plane, but at least with a car, you can chill, you have your own, again, just like the Airbnb, you have your own space, you can eat in the car, a lot easier, and you can stop, you can chill, you can sit for a coffee, whatever. Being as in control of your own variables in a bodybuilding prep, traveling to bodybuilding shows, is always going to be more advantageous than relying on bus times, flight times, hotel times, check-in, check-outs, and whatever. So take everything into your own hands. And for me, driving, if we're talking about within the UK, driving and using Airbnbs is far easier than the latter. So that's kind of my advice to any kind of first timers, or even people who are still competing. Just make things as relaxed and as close to your own routine as possible. That's my advice then. With that horrendous travel experience over this past weekend, that just got me thinking and kind of splurted that shit out. So as for myself, so I checked in on Friday before the PCA instead of the Monday, basically because I knew over the weekend I was going to be out of my routine, I was going to be out of my eating schedule. So I decided to check in with Patrick on the Friday. Everything looks well, no food increases, not as hard, but obviously the drugs that I was on before, the drugs that you use kind of towards more of an end of prep to kind of harden up and get the muscle nice and dense, harder looking, sorry, are all out. So obviously that look's kind of gone, but that's obviously circumstantial. That's just what's going to happen. You know, you can't fight that. I'm not going to stay on halo testing for year round just to look hard for Instagram. I think I ended up killing someone. So yeah, that's what's kind of changed. Weight went up to 247. So that's me £10 up from my registered weigh-in. £10 to some people might be quite a lot, to others not so much. That's what I feel I should have competed at. So it doesn't bother me at all. I've taken a few photos outside of the check-in where I feel obviously I still look quite good. Yeah, very happy where I'm sitting in terms of the look this far after a show. I touched on that in my previous vlog about my discipline post-show and how much better it's been, and kind of a few methods. I say methods, it's just like different sauces and flavours and whatnot of staying on plan that have massively helped me this time round. And just that focus. I've already set the goal in the future. That goal setting is obviously going to allow you to stay in a good place. I've got quite a few cheat meals lined up, so that's one another. If we're going to touch back on things post-show, the fact that I've planned meals and planned events post-show is what is really helping me mentally. I was horrendous for picking. For instance, like I would sit with a bag of Doritos and do check-ins during the day on a fucking Tuesday, you know. So the fact that I've got things planned and I know they're coming mentally can help. Now this may all sound like eating disorder bullshit, but you know, I'm very wary about using the word eating disorder when it comes to competitive bodybuilding. You know, our eating is for a purpose. You know, bodybuilding is all about nutrition, and we plan our nutrition around our training. We plan nutrition through our day. So why is it so fucked up when you want to plan meals and not eat at certain bits so that you can eat later? You know, I think too many people within bodybuilding are trying to look at their own faults. Me and Greg have touched on this in the Scottish Silverback podcast, shameless plug, about people using eating disorders as an excuse for their own ill discipline. Now I may have hurt a few feelings there, but you know, or the way they looked on stage and whatnot, they kind of blame it all. They fucked up my eating and all that, and you know, fucking nutrition is part of this game. It's part of it. You know, we have to eat at certain times. We have to eat a certain way. We have to restrict calories. And now, do people develop eating disorders from competing? Absolutely they do. I'm not debating that at all. But I think it's just used now, as with anything, kind of just as an excuse for that kind of, for their own faults, basically. I won't dwell too much into that because I feel a rant coming on. I swear I'm off the ALO test. Speaking of anabolics, I didn't touch that on the previous one. That's me on a baseline, 300mg of testosterone propionate a week, 300mg of MPP a week, 2 IU of GH, and that's it. And that's all I'm on just now. Just to kind of use the food rather than drugs post-show, because my body's pretty fucking tired. Well, it has been. I think we're kind of getting there now. I was saying to one of my pals in the gym yesterday that if Patrick was to say to me, look, right, tomorrow, let's fucking boost the off season, let's get going, I'd be fine with that. I'd be happy to push on and start my off season. But you've got to kind of just ease into it and just take your time, because if you go too quickly, you know, you're gonna hurt yourself in some way. Don't know what way, but you know. Training wise, still enjoying being in the gym, love being in the gym, getting stronger every week. Certain movement patterns are coming back because you can now actually tense the muscle, you can flex the muscle, which is obviously making a huge difference to how I feel about myself in the gym. You know, actually getting a bicep pump, actually getting a shoulder pump, it's only getting better and better. And yeah, so training is just on point. Still running the low volume training, I probably will for the next 4 weeks. But that's fine with me. You can still make that super intense, and it's always eye-opening to some people who have been running high volume their whole time they've been bodybuilding. They go to a lower volume approach and like, fucking hell, I didn't realise you could get such workouts out of one set. And I touched on what I'm doing leg training wise in terms of sub-maximal sets. So if you're watching this on YouTube, I recommend you go and look at that post. Don't get me wrong, it's not hypertrophy coach or anything like that, but it's just my kind of theory as to what I'm what I'm going to do leg training wise going forward to kind of make sure the hip stays in a good place, and just make sure I'm taking the do. So yeah, that was, and then obviously on Tuesday, I hooked up with Magic Eye Media, Jay, and he filmed the back session at Ultraflex in Durham with myself, James, my client James, and Miles, which is phenomenal. Obviously, I have to use the Dorian Yates machine pullover, so we got to use that, and that was a lot of fun. Really enjoyed that, and hopefully we'll get way more in the future, and I can link up with Jay in the future as well and do a few more things. That'd be a lot of fun. So going forward, just keep it taking over. Oh, that's what I didn't touch on. Cheat meals, planned stuff. So I've got planned stuff. So for instance, myself and my training partner are going out post workout tomorrow. Breakfast on Sunday with Reagan. After that, we're in Kirkcaldy, which is where Reagan's from, and having one then. We're away in Arran for 3 days, have a few then. One with the boys after that, and I think that's me for the foreseeable. So yeah, as long as they're planned, that keeps me sane. Means I won't pick and eat shite. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think I've just rambled for 17 minutes, but people seem to like my rambling, so I'll take that. Extremely happy, and yeah, we'll just carry on ticking over, hopefully staying relatively lean and not getting fat too quickly. So hope there's anything I said there, I don't even fucking remember what I said, was helpful to you, and I promise I'll keep these up. Until next time.